morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Saturday morning at the Quilting Corner. I am Penny from So Charming Quilt Shop in Clanton, Alabama, and today is the day we devote to you guys, to showing what you have been working on, what you've been gifted, the projects in the making, and it is so much fun to see what everybody is creating because it is just so inspiring, so fun, and, well, gives everybody a lot of ideas. So, we are going to go one by the submissions that we got this week. The first of which is Rita Bannister. She has tried her hand at working with her AccuQuilt, and well, let me just say she's succeeded. So let's look at what she has created using her AccuQuilt machine. And well, it's gorgeous. She did a fabulous job. Let's look. Was I right? Yes, I was. I know I was. That is great. You did a fabulous job, Miss Rita, and thank you for showing us what you've worked on. You did a great job. Keep it up. Keep those quilts coming out. We appreciate that. The next picture I'm going to show you is not necessarily a project someone's working on. It's a picture of someone that came to the shop. Her name is Liz Taylor. And she came from Florida on her way to California. She said her friend Connie couldn't make the trip with her, but she wanted to stop by and get some pictures and meet us and talk to us and spend a little time with us, and she did just that. Now, I am normally always at the shop, but the particular day that she came by, I had an appointment to go to and I was coming back, but she physically waited for me in the shop. That was so sweet of her to do, just so that she could meet us. Well, we got to meet her and get to know her a little bit, and she was so sweet. And then she also wanted to meet Jimmy. Well, Jimmy happened to be nearby, and he stopped by, came in, and we all met and talked, and we had a great visit before she had to leave for her next destination, which was California. Thank you, Miss Liz, for coming by and seeing us and meeting us. We enjoyed it just as much as you did. She sent us a note, and the pictures that she took are the ones that I'm about to show you, but she sent us a note saying how fun it was to meet us and how she appreciated it, and well, we did too. You don't know what it means to us for you guys to come by and want to meet us, because it's just fun for us, and it's not something we really expect, but it's fun to get to know so many different people from so many different areas, and for you to take the time out of your schedule to come to us, to find us, well, we appreciate that. There's really no words we can have for that, but thank you for coming to see us, and I wish Miss Connie could come. She was not able to, but she is on our prayer list. So thank you for coming to see us. And Miss Connie, hello to you too. We have some more submissions we're going to show you of quilts that other people have made. The next one comes to us from Miss Sherry Morris, who is out of Wetumpka. Wetumpka, Alabama is not far from us. In fact, we visit Wetumpka quite a bit. And it's a cute little town with some great restaurants and some really cute little shops. So we like to go over to that town. Well, Miss Sherry lives in that town, and she has submitted a quilt for us to see. Now, let me start out by saying, she said she hasn't quilted in over 30 years. Over 30 years she's not quilted. She said she has some fabric that has been in her sewing room since the 1990s, and well, she's going to use it. It is fabric from thimbleberries, And she decided to make a quilt using that fabric. She was making the quilt for a friend, but she couldn't remember what she was actually going to do with that fabric back in the 90s, so she improvised. She found some matching blue and dark red fabrics in Ohio and used a Woolies flannel pattern. She bought the back at our shop here at So Charming and mixed some old with some new fabrics. She started it in August at a quilt retreat and finished it this past Monday. Well, let me tell you, let's just look at this quilt. Wasn't that beautiful? I am so glad that she went back to those older fabrics and used them and didn't let them go to waste. It might have taken a little while to get them done, but she got them done. And well, she's just like the rest of us. I can guarantee you there are fabrics in my sewing room. As I look around, I know there are because I see some that have been here for a long, long time and I've not done anything with them. Well, maybe I need to. That has inspired me to, yes, I need to. Now, I know you guys are the same way. You guys have those fabrics that have been sitting in your sewing room. Let's get to using them. This coming year, let's get those fabrics and start using them, get some projects done, clean out those sewing rooms while we're getting projects done. So thank you for showing us what you made and, well, for finishing that project. Great job. Thanks for submitting those so we can see them and enjoy them with you. Our next submission comes to us from Miss Cheryl Beasley out of Washington State. Now, last month, she submitted a picture of a quilt that she was making for her husband. She said that he was anxious for her to get that done. He was wanting that quilt done. Well, she has succeeded with that project. She said seeing all the projects and the quilts that have been submitted on Saturday's videos has inspired her to get that project done. And that is what we love to hear. That this quilts that we're showing and all the projects we're showing are inspiring someone. Well, she has been inspired and she has succeeded with this quilt being finished. She said she was going to use dark blue for her backing, but after talking with her mother, she found that her mother had some batting and had some fabrics. At first, they were going to go thrifting to see what they could find, but when her mother found that she had all this fabric to be used, they used the stash instead. I can't say as I blame them. That's the best way, is to use the stash that you already have. Well, she found what she needed in that stash. There were some orphan blocks in there. She used those and cut some down to 6.5-inch squares. She started arranging them and it ended up with a 2-sided quilt. That's how many she had. She went on to say that she quilted it on her domestic sewing machine with horizontal lines. She also said that this is her first time ever sandwiching a quilt. And if you don't know what sandwiching a quilt is, I can't even say it. Sandwiching a quilt is, it is putting the 3 layers together. You've got the quilt top, you've got the batting in the middle, and you've got the backing fabric. So when you put all those 3 together, it's called sandwiching a quilt. Well, this was her first time doing that. And she said when she got it done and she quilted it and all, she said her husband couldn't be more excited. I am glad for her that she finished it. I'm glad for him that she finished it, because now they will both cherish that quilt for a long, long, long time. So let's take a look at what she's created. Now we see why they're both excited. That turned out gorgeous. So thank you for showing us what you've worked on and what you finished. And I'm so glad that you finished it and that you both are excited. It turned out gorgeous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have more. We're not done. Our next one comes from Miss Gina Tylinda, and she said that she started quilting about 4 years ago, and it has turned into an obsession. You know, 99% of the people say that same thing, that once you get started quilting, it becomes an obsession. It is so much fun, so relaxing, and well, you guys already know this because you guys, most of you are already quilters anyway. But she has now found this out. She said she retired and is spending most of her time, she's got 2 houses in California and 1 in Oklahoma, and that she goes back and forth to those houses, and each house has a sewing machine and each house has a stash of fabrics. Can't get any better than that. Anywhere you go, you got fabric and a sewing machine, you are set. Today's submission that she has turned in is quilts for baby girls, and she personalizes them all. She said she tries to take pictures of all of them, but she doesn't succeed with all of that. She forgets some from time to time. And well, that would be easy to do. She personalizes them with things like the spring garden for Scarlett's quilt. Well, let me just show you these and then I'll read you what she sent in. Weren't those fabulous? I mean, fabulous. I know all of those parents are excited for those quilts, and I know she is proud of them as well, and rightfully so. But let me read you what she wrote, just so that I don't get it wrong and don't forget something. She sent in, and this is not all of her email, but this is part of it that'll give you the idea of what she's doing and how she's doing it. She said the first quilt, Penelope, was Mama's choice of lavender and pink. She said, I threw in the sage green for balance. Scarlett's quilt was her spring garden themed room that her daddy painted lavender and installed white wainscoting halfway up the walls. I used the same butterflies from Penelope's quilt and added applique spots. The flowers were from various patterns that I worked into the design, and the picket fence at the bottom was my design and gave me a headache doing the math. Lucia's quilt was a joy as a pattern, but straightforward, and I just had to carefully match the backing fabric. Sloane's parents live in a 1-bedroom condo in Seattle and love modern furniture and art. Thus, my choice of random solid colored triangles with a bit of metallic gold. All the quilts were surprises, and all of the parents were very pleased. I was told Sloane's daddy teared up when he saw the quilt, as quote unquote, no one has ever handmade me anything my whole life. This is a first and it is amazing, unquote. Makes all the time I spent with my seam ripper on that quilt, making it perfect, feel worth it. I so understand that. And that is so sweet. That is the reason, well, a lot of the reason why we do what we do, because, I mean, just for him to tear up, wow, that says a lot. Great, great, great. Thank you for submitting those pictures, and I am so happy to read what you sent. Thank you for showing us all of these gorgeous quilts you have made. Thank you for submitting them. Thank you for bringing us along to let us see what you have made. We have another subscriber. The next one is Miss Carolyn Brown, and she is out of Ohio. She has submitted some pictures before, and she's doing it again. She said the last 2 weeks she has worked nonstop on making angel costumes. Her church's Christmas program is coming up, and she had to make some angel costumes. She made 3 the week of Thanksgiving and 5 this week, with 1 more to go. She said she didn't have a pattern, so what she did was she took an old angel costume, took it apart, made that into a pattern to show her how to cut it and all that. Used that as the pattern, made them, and well, now she has created all these wonderful angel costumes. So let's see what she's made. Those were gorgeous, and I am sure the church is very appreciative, and they will be gorgeous in the Christmas program. So thank you for showing us what you've made and submitting the pictures, taking the time to do so. And thank you for making the angel costumes for your Christmas program. That was really, really sweet. We thank all of you guys for submitting your projects today. We love seeing what everyone's working on, and like I've always said, we get emails all the time saying that people were inspired, or that they just enjoyed watching and seeing what everybody's making. And well, we feel the same way. We love it just as much as you guys do. So thank you for submitting your pictures. We appreciate that. Keep them coming if you have something to submit for this next week. Our email is sewcharmingquiltshop@gmail.com. It's SEW, charmingquiltshop@gmail.com. We would love to see what you're making. And well, gives us ideas as well, even if it's just color combos, or if it's patterns, or if it's just thinking outside the box and coming up with something other than what you've made, but just an idea started from that. So thank you for submitting your pictures. Get your pictures in for this next week if you would like to do so. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend doing whatever it is that makes you happy. And well, until next time, you guys have a great time. Enjoy your weekend, and happy quilting.